Hello, you guys. Welcome to another episode of the Be For Real podcast.
Hey, everybody. Happy day.
Happy Thursday.
Monday.
Actually, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy Thursday to us. I hope by the time you guys are listening to this, you had a great weekend and that you don't have the Monday scaries because that's a real thing.
Monday scaries. Oh, God.
That's why you got to romanticize your life because, a Monday should just be as good as a Friday.
Absolutely.
Period.
I feel like we should Love Island recap first.
Whoa, switching things up here. Okay.
Right away. Because it's been juicy. The last few episodes, since we last left off, it's been real dramatic. So if you aren't caught up, this will be, as of when you're watching this on Monday, this will be as of a couple days ago, Thursday. So there's a new episode tonight, but there hasn't been one. There wasn't one yesterday.
I hate to admit it, and I totally forgot to do this, but oh my God, you're going to kill me. I have 10 minutes left of the last episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I literally was watching it last night, and then anyways, I got interrupted and I had to do something else. And then I was like, I'll put it on tomorrow so I can recap it. And I completely forgot to watch the last 10 minutes.
So
we could do everything before that, if that makes sense.
So what did you see up until?
So I saw up until the recoupling when they were doing the doors.
Mm-hmm. And
the last thing I saw...
Did you see any of the doors stuff open?
Yes, I did. The last thing I saw was... It was somebody at the door waiting. And it was like, dun, dun, dun. I think it was...
Okay. She's really thinking hard.
I didn't see Ace yet go. And... Oh, I'm pretty sure the last thing I saw was... Okay, I saw Olandria and Taylor together.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I saw, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't see Ace and Jeremiah quite yet.
So TikTok hasn't spoiled it for you?
No, I haven't made it on TikTok.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the drama's in the last 10 minutes. So
shit, do you want to just tell me?
No, I'm not going to tell you. You'll see. But I mean, up until then, I pretty much Huda is a major crash out.
Okay, I was actually
the way everyone was scared for friggin' Iris's life when she ran up there. There's so many things on TikTok where people are not conspiracizing, but we obviously don't see a lot on the show. So I think people are literally what happened, because there's a part where you see her in a clip talking and her knuckles are bloody.
Oh my God.
So people are did she punch something out? So then when she runs upstairs to talk to Iris, and both of the boys are should we stay around just in case? So that's why people are are we have they seen a side of her that we haven't, that she's aggressive or
why would she have bloody knuckles?
But then people were I think she got hurt in the challenge because Hannah also had a bandage on her arm after that. And that's when the host disappeared. She was there for half of it and then left. So people I think Hannah got hurt and they took a while, so then she had to leave. But people are I think Huda got hurt in the challenge, but then people are just saying that, oh my God, when did
as a joke,
when did she punch a wall, you know what I mean?
It's of course she's the one to have the bloody knuckles, which is pretty funny. But I was actually this whole week when I was watching the episodes, I was dying because she literally gaslit herself into thinking that America hates Jeremiah and that she's in the right, and I was actually dying.
I saw TikTok and it was her, it was her and over the whatever, the what's the word, the caption, okay, the caption on it was does America hate me? And someone was correct, and with funny music playing, and it was you are correct.
That is
she literally
hilarious.
Was no, because when she was saying that to Jeremiah, being I think America is
wants you to
saving
do better,
me, and they've seen something that I haven't, and then he goes, no, I actually think they're trying to save me from it. He pretty much was no, I actually think it's the other way around. That made me laugh.
And I was dying because you could tell that he was a bit scared to say that, because he's how is she going to react to this?
Right.
I was there's no way this girl gaslit herself into thinking that America hates him and is trying to get her away from him.
And that he's been doing some shady things.
And then
she goes to Ace and all the boys, and she's what has America seen that I haven't? And it's look at the mirror. Look in the mirror, girl.
I just
no protein. No protein. Everyone being she's so pissed about.
Oh my God, when she
the way
said
she
that,
was talking to him was kind of crazy.
I was actually this is honestly borderline verbal abuse.
I get she's a personal trainer, so she's very train heavy. I'm sure she's 120 grams of protein every day. But when she said that, I was damn, okay, man made you breakfast and you just okay. It's go just downstairs and make your protein after.
It's just hilarious because if somebody just in life in general makes me breakfast, I don't care if it's a food that I hate. I'm still gonna be so grateful for that, and I'm gonna eat it and love it. Okay,
but wait, just add this fact on top. It was a man she's known for 10 days.
Oh God.
10 days.
No
protein.
no protein.
Raw
You need to do better.
Taylor
had to make me a pancake.
And then later Taylor was like, she literally asked me to.
I know.
And she did, and he did.
Which is so funny.
Yeah. And then I saw TikTok saying that someone thought Taylor was lying about that she didn't actually ask him, but no, when I watched it over, I'm like, no, she literally said, Tay, can you help me? Like she literally asked him to help. So that's just so funny that she then got so mad that Jeremiah didn't actually step in to help.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember hearing this. She was calling Jeremiah extremely delusional.
I think so.
And when I heard that, I swear I heard that. And
she projected.
And I was literally like, whoa. Literally, whoa, what is going on here?
It's intense.
This is actually concerning.
Dude, when she was posted up laying there, I'm not bothered. I'm really unbothered. I don't give a fuck.
With her sunglasses.
I was watching my mom and I was like, that is the most bothered girl I've ever seen. I was like, you look bothered. If you were unbothered, you would have walked over there and like accepted them back. But I'm like, no. You're pretending to look unbothered, but it's making you look even more bothered.
That was the
so
funniest
funny.
thing when she was laying there with her sunglasses, and I'm just like
hands and legs crossed.
Like you said, in my head, I was like, that's the most bothered girl I've ever seen.
She looks so bothered.
And then she goes and storms off after to go like eavesdrop on like the boys, and I'm just
my god, she's standing on the corner listening. That was insane. And oh my god, she hears Nick say something. So Nick goes, to me, I kind of just think that you're trying to like whatever, like maybe blah, blah, blah. That's like what Nick was saying. She runs away and she's like, I just heard Jeremiah say that he just wants to go with Iris now. I was like, that's what Nick says that he thinks he should do, or he should do, like something like that.
I know.
It literally, the words, I mean, it, God forbid, like it could have been edited out. I know there's a lot of editing things, so like we don't see a lot of things they say, but the way it's put together, he didn't even say that. Nick said, I think, or I feel, and then said something, and then she heard it as, oh, that's Jeremiah, and she's like, Jeremiah just said that. I was like, girl, you're making shit up on the spot.
No, it's actually so crazy to witness and see what she's doing. I'm like,
it's wild.
Are you okay?
I mean, clearly not. Like, clearly this is a lot for her. I don't think she understands, like, the real concept of the show. Like,
I don't think so.
She's freaking the hell out, and it's only been, like, not even 2 weeks. And also, like, okay, I guess you've seen this, but, like, when she, like, runs over and is like, fuck you, and being like, you're a pussy. Like, all this stuff. Yeah. Yelling, like, across the villa to him. Yeah. Like, literally shut up.
That's like verbal abuse there.
Oh, it 100% is. Like, it's not cool.
No.
I even saw Jeremiah's, I guess his sisters are running his Instagram right now, and they like posted something being like, just want to say like, we do not agree with the use of profanity, like calling people names towards Jeremiah or any other person, like just so you know. Like, and then at the end, obviously you haven't seen it, but it's dramatic. It's honestly, I feel like I expected, like, you don't know what happens, but like I feel like you can kind of just imagine what happens. I thought it was going to be more dramatic, but I think the result of the episode will lead to more drama down the line. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Oh, I can't wait to finish it. But damn, it's so funny what the producers are doing to stir up the drama with the whole door situation. Yeah. And I'm like, and I actually died when like the host made a comment, like not the host, but the guy who does the narration. Yeah. When he made the comment about like, oh, for once this scene is not about Huda and Jeremiah. And I was like, he's been talking like the episodes have been like about them. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny.
But you know how even like they're all getting sick and tired of their toxicity ruining the whole vibe?
Everybody's getting tired.
I would agree. And I would be like, if I had I guess you don't know what happens. If I can't really spoil it. I was just saying, if I had the opportunity like to send one of them home to end that, I like so would. Like I would be like, 1,000%. You guys are awful. Yeah. Like if one of them was on the chopping block.
Yeah, I would for sure send
I would
them
be
home.
Like, this is clearly not working. You guys are bringing down the vibe. Like this is not your person. Yeah. You're like not doing okay. Yeah. I think you should just. Yeah. You should maybe go.
And I think it's become so toxic. One of them needs, or it should be Huda, because she has made this whole situation so toxic. Yeah. But like, she's got to go. Like, she's got to go.
I can't even imagine anyone else coming in and like Huda gonna try with them. Oh my god, in the episode, you would have seen this because this was like before. Jeremiah didn't even touch her. He pulled out Iris's chair for her because she couldn't get on it. She ran away and started bawling and was like, it's just seeing him with another woman. I went, holy shit. No. This is actually like, no. The male, like, she's a male, like, just everyone is like, she's just very male centered is what it's giving from the show. You know, don't know her outside of the show, but what we're seeing on the show, male centered. Everything revolves around males. And like her doing anything is like, oh my God. I'm like, why the fuck? She tried to get on the chair and couldn't, and it like bumped Jeremiah. So he turned around and was like, oh, here you go, and pulled it out. He didn't do anything romantic at all. She bawled her eyes out and ran away, and literally everyone looked like, girl, are you for real?
No, I was actually dead when she did that, and I was like, what?
I literally paused it and rewatched it because I was like, did anything happen I missed? Like, nothing happened at all.
No, it's honestly so toxic. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's so ridiculous. It's actually insane.
It is. It's not.
It's funny because it's like the producers knew what they were doing casting this girl.
Oh God, yeah. They didn't know, but they knew.
Yeah, no, they knew for sure.
I just saw a TikTok today. Someone stalking Huda's Instagram, and down in 23, they all say like liked by Ace, whatever his last name is, his Instagram. So he was liking her photos in 2023.
No way.
So people are like, he already knew who she was.
No way.
Yeah. And apparently they kissed in a challenge or something at one point, or like maybe someone said I think he said he was attracted to her like
really?
right at the start.
Really?
Something like that. But I literally saw this video and I was like, wait, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
He was already following and liking her stuff back in like 2023.
Whoa.
So I was like, damn.
That is weird.
And where we're at now, they clearly aren't fucking with each other. Or I think she likes Ace more than Ace likes her. Yeah. And I think Ace is really annoyed by her.
No, yeah. Oh, he is for sure.
Like, you need to go home. You're annoying.
Yeah.
I don't think he really likes Jeremiah that much either.
No, you could tell they
just have weird vibes.
Yeah, it's funny that like Ace from the beginning he was saying like this is gonna blow up like with them too. Like he saw it from the beginning, but it's just so crazy to me how that even is a thing. Like, how did this happen?
I saw Charlie talking with people on podcasts, like he's already whatever, and they told him, I guess he hadn't seen like the episode from last or the night before already, and they were like, yeah, so blah 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 happened and blah 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 happened, and then he's like talking about Jeremiah and Huda and being like, I always knew, like, you could tell from the beginning with how locked in they were, like, no one else was gonna wreck their relationship besides themselves. Like, he was like, if anything was gonna fuck it up, it would be the two of them. Like, they would do it to themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he was there, so like,
yeah, he was literally in the villa.
He's got the guarantee.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's crazy. Watch that last 10 minutes before tonight, of course, but it's juicy. So it'll be good to like watch that right before leading into the next episode, because then you'll, and the next it's gonna start unfolding real quick.
Yeah, next episode is tonight.
Yes,
thank God, because yesterday I kind of saved like last episode for whatever because I couldn't watch one night, so it was perfect. But thank God we get a new ep tonight.
Yeah, I'm quite happy about that.
On the edge of my seat for that one.
But anyways, wrap that up. Hey guys, we're back. What's new with you? How's your week been?
My week's been good. Same old. I bought cherries.
She bought cherries.
I'm like, guys, I bought cherries.
Big week.
I've been just craving them, and finally they came into the stores. So picked up some cherries, went grocery shopping yesterday, and I got some like fridge organizers for like the fresh berries so I can put them in wash and stuff. Cute. So super cute.
Love that.
Honestly, not much. Have been vibing. Oh, it was Father's Day this past weekend.
Oh yeah, right.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's
Day. All the fathers out there. Yeah, Father's Day was really nice. Hung out with my family. It was a beautiful day. So we made dinner for my dad, and we were just chilling basically at home the whole day and with the fam. And my dad, he has a garden in our backyard. I got to pick fresh strawberries.
Cute.
Like, look at how cute this is.
Oh, in the little bucket.
I
love it.
And he also grew cherries, so I got to pick some cherries and strawberries, and it was such a good day. And yeah, weekend was great overall. Just basically, same olds. Headed into summer, excited about that, but nothing like extravagant that has happened really. I've just been trying to distance myself a bit from social media. That's been a recent goal of mine again, is just to create some boundaries with that. Other than that, things have been vibing. Things have been good. What about you?
Yeah, kind of same. Just again, like busy with work this week, and I didn't see my dad on Father's Day. I'm going to see him tonight for dinner because I worked all weekend and I just haven't seen him. So sorry, Dad.
Dad.
But other than that, no, I just had a pretty work busy weekend. But other than that, yeah, I'm looking at my camera roll. There's like nothing that's telling of what I did. It's just
no photos this week.
Yeah, no, not too much. I got my nails done on Monday. Other than that,
what'd you get?
They're funky.
Oh, cute.
Got some funky wonky, a little yellow, a little polka dot, a little white. I
didn't even notice. So gem. Cute. That's so cute.
Thanks. Yeah. But other than that, I feel like that's the only like thing I've done so far this week.
Yeah, sometimes you got to find and romanticize the joy in the mundane, you know? It's not going to be Absolutely. Like
okay, Emma Chamberlain.
Super exciting. Oh, God, yeah, literally.
I was like, you literally just said the joy in the mundane, which is literally her last podcast episode title.
No, that's maybe I subconsciously said that knowing that she posted that. Because I saw
Did you listen to the episode?
I listened to the first like 10 minutes. That's funny. Haven't got through it yet. But that's hilarious. That just came through like that. Yeah. Oh, my God.
You have like photo memory of it.
That's crazy.
I've been listening to her episodes a lot recently, which is so fun. But just like because my drive home from work, I'm always in traffic at the end of the day, and I'm like kind of bored of listening to music because like music plays in the store all day, and I listen to it like going into work. So I usually listen to her podcast like every day I come home.
And she posts really frequently. Like,
she does,
posts
which is nice.
A week, and her episodes are usually at least 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 to like an hour.
Yeah. She's feeding us the content.
She does. I'm not starving when it comes to Miss Emma.
And it's hilarious because it's like, girl, you post twice a week. She has so much to say.
Yeah.
And I know she has like a producer and people who help her come up with these ideas. Yeah. But still, girl, like this girl has to yap for a long time.
She does.
And it's like she keeps posting. I'm like, this girl, like, good for you.
Yeah. I like her topic videos depending on what the topics are. Like I'll listen to all of her episodes that come out, but I actually really like when she does the advice sessions because I think like she just gives like so many different perspectives on things, even if it's something that's like about relationships. I'm like, I just want to listen to it too because I'm curious what she would say back to people's questions. Yeah, sometimes it's like really serious. Sometimes it's like I don't know, man. Like so that's why it's funny, but yeah, I really enjoy listening to her podcast, and I've even been listening to some like older ones if there isn't like a new one out because I'm like I've literally listened to all the new ones. But
yeah,
so if you guys have any other like podcast recs that are similar, not ours, I mean, if I could listen to my voice all day, I would.
If I can listen to my own, I would.
I'm like, but I was here in the moment, girl. Yeah, like it's like I've already heard the episode.
Yes.
But if you guys have any other recs that are like similar to Emma Chamberlain, not like too serious, but not like too not joking, like just joking the whole time, that's like my vibe.
Me too.
I want there to be some like good like life real stuff and also like a little bit of funny.
I'm kind of like that too, where it's like it needs to be a good medium. Sometimes when I listen to podcasts like too informative, I'm just like I
get bored.
I can't handle it. Honestly, it's too much for me, and
it feels like teaching, like school.
And a lot of the times when I put on a podcast, I want to just be able to like relax and just listen, have it on in the background when I'm doing something, driving, and having like a podcast that's too informative. I just can't do it. I like a more chill, laid back as well, with a mix of like some sprinkle in that kind of stuff. So
Me too. I also love a good like. Do you know Brittany Broski?
Yeah, I do know her. I've never really followed along with her, but I know of her.
The like odd time, like if I feel in the mood for a laugh, then I listen to her podcast because she's so funny and I'll actually like laugh out loud. But it's like I have to be in the mood to like that rather than like something that I can just like be mindless and like but kind of like, you know, actually absorbing the information. Yeah. But yeah, been listening to some good pods.
Yeah. That's good. It's funny because sometimes when I'm driving, it's like, okay, if I have a long drive ahead of me, I'm like, okay, am I in a podcast mood or am I in a music mood? Yeah. And if I, let's say, choose to put on a podcast and then I'm driving and then 5 minutes pass by and I'm like, I was not listening to anything this podcast like, just said. Going on. So music's coming on. Yeah. But then sometimes it's like I'm locked in. Yeah. So it just depends the vibe.
Yeah. Any update on your dietary restrictions right now?
It's been going really good. I mean, it's like I said, it's like so easy to do when I'm at home. Yeah. And so I feel like in order to see like good results, you know, you have to do it for at least 2 months, I feel like. So I'm still in the midst of like trying to gain that momentum because I've been doing it now for a couple weeks, I think. Yeah, I'm going to wait to see like assess if things are working after like 2 months. But in terms of just like doing it, it's been super easy. I've been cooking a lot, which is good, and just eating really like healthy whole foods and it's easier than it sounds, honestly, and it's just the way that you grocery shop and stuff makes a huge difference with what you're eating.
Yeah, of course.
And the odd times that I have gone out, I've just opted for like a healthier option. So yeah, no, it's been going really good. And nothing really to update on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really easier than you think it is. You just got to put your mind to it and give yourself the available resources for it when grocery shopping. So
absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's been going good. But anyways, for today's episode topic, we kind of wanted to do a navigating your 20s, talk about a couple of different topics because I'm 25, you're 24, turning 25
I'm
soon.
22. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm 20?
I'm actually 20.
What do you mean?
I literally just turned 20.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we're old. I'm just kidding.
Well,
sometimes I will be like, I'm 25 is halfway to 50. I say that all the time. And then my dad's like, you need to stop. Because I was like, true. I stop. I just think it's funny thinking that the age I'm at right now is halfway to the age 50. And like my mom just turned 50. So that's crazy. I think it's more or less like I'm exactly half my mom's age. And that just seems like weird to me. Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, I got to stop saying that. Yeah. Like, that sounds crazy. And all of a sudden I'll blink and I'll be 50. And I'll be like, why did I do that?
Yeah. No, that is scary when you really put it into perspective like that.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
But honestly, it's like we just have to enjoy still. Like, we're not in our late 20s, okay, yet. We're in our mid 20s.
We're in the mid.
And
I'm still in the beginning of the mid, okay? You're in the mid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the center.
It's okay, guys. I'm almost there.
Yeah, you got a couple more months.
And
then I'm in the mid you're halfway 20s. To 50.
Yeah, and then I'm halfway to 50.
That's hilarious. But yes, we just wanted to talk about that, navigating things, and, you know.
Because it's a lot.
Guess we got some wisdom since we're halfway to 50. What can we say, you know?
It's a way to look at it, absolutely.
Yeah. But it is a blessing getting older.
It is.
So when you view it from that standpoint, it's like I'm so lucky to be alive and thriving, and a lot of people can't say that, you know? So
yeah, absolutely. And I just think like your 20s is such like an impactful decade of your life, like to set you up for the rest of your life, you know? Like I feel like up until being 20, it's just like fun, doing whatever. I don't know things. My brain doesn't even work. I have all this lack of information, blah, blah, blah. And then once you turn 20, I feel like it's the time where you just start like, okay, actually like absorbing things that happen and like, you know, characteristics and things out of you or like from your past start coming out in those times. Like you get put into different situations. You have to deal with things differently. I don't know. Yeah, it's a very like monumental decade of your life for sure. And it can be probably the hardest one maybe.
Yeah, I genuinely think that being kind of in your 20s is 10 years of straight learning and experimenting. Yeah. And when I see 20s, now actually being in my 20s, it's like before when I was like in my teenagers and imagining being in my 20s, I was like, oh, I'm going to have my life sorted out.
I'm gonna be so cool.
I'm going to have this and that and whatever. Yeah. But it's like once you're actually in your 20s, you're like, this is actually the first years of me being my own person.
Yeah.
I feel like your brain really starts to develop in those ways where you really start to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like before you hit 20, like you don't know yourself.
Yeah. And learning about yourself is like the craziest part. Because like I said, like
crazy
things will just come out of you that you didn't even know like you were capable of, or like ways you could never feel before, or, you know, like things like that. Just like self-discovery in your 20s is insane. And I feel like honestly it's never ending in your life, but I feel like your 20s obviously is when that really first starts, so that's why it's like so much crazier than other years.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like your 20s is like a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And it's like
cook you up.
It'll cook you up. And I also feel like it's literally like that, guys. Yeah. And it's like one day you could think you have everything sorted out. The next day everything can come crumbling down. Mm-hmm. And your 20s is about figuring out what you want for the rest of your life. You know, it's about experimenting. I have always said this. I think that it's important, especially in your 20s, is to be reckless. Try out the different things you want to try out. And if it doesn't work out, great, now you know. And it's the years to just be like, fuck it. If you don't really have any kids yet or no commitments yet, it's the perfect years to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go try everything I've ever wanted to do. I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna go try this job. I'm gonna go try this job, see what I want to do, see what I like, maybe go to school, maybe not go to school. You can choose so many different things. You could try so many different things. And I just feel like since in your 20s, you usually don't have that many things tying you down, it's the perfect years to do that.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know, it's crazy. And also, like you said before, like before you're in your 20s, you're like, oh, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. But you also feel like, oh, I'm going to feel so old and like mature and be such an adult. But then you come to this age and it like, obviously everyone's experiences are going to be different, because for some people, you know, you might have to fully step up and be a real hardcore adult and like have to, you know, be 100% independent in every aspect of life. But in other cases, like even for me, sometimes I'm like, I feel like an adult, but I also feel like I'm literally still a child. Like I don't know nothing. Like I still want my mom to call the dentist and make my appointment. Like, you know what I mean? Like things like that, where I've now kind of been getting into a better relationship with realizing that like you know, I'm not actually getting old, and that being 30s and 40s are still like not even like the halfway mark. Like I assume that I always just assume that I'm gonna live to 100. My grandma lived till like 96, so I just imagine
thriving gal.
If I'm 100, 50 is only halfway through my life. 50 years, and that's only halfway. Obviously that's not always the case, but that's kind of what the goal is. Like that's in your head. Ideally, I just go about my life thinking that I have 100 years. Obviously, don't know what my life plan is. Or
I mean, you're hoping you have 100 years.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying. So that's why, like, I just am like, okay, I'm gonna have 100 years. So that, like, that's just how I look at it in my head. Obviously, you never know. People. Okay, I don't need to get all freaking like, oh, people die at 50, but you know what I mean. People's times are different from them. So in my head, I just imagine that I have 100 years. I'm like, okay, so when I'm 50. I only have half my life. Like, holy shit, I have so much time after that, and I'll be so much more wise, and I've already done so many things in my life, and now it's like really, because my mom's like in that position right now where like she's single, she just turned 50, like she's done all these things, she has raised adult children, now it is her time to just do whatever she wants, you know. Really, it's almost like she's in her 20s again.
It's almost like it's new like chapter where it's like, okay, now after raising kids, then it's like, what now?
Now she's done that, because now she's like, I don't have to. It's like she's looking for Joel. Like she's like, where did he go?
Oh, look at her.
She literally was like, where are you?
Stop it. That's so sad.
No, because she was just over down by the stairs.
Guys, Joel just left, and then Binu came meowing, like looking around the corner, like, where did he go?
Like she just ran up from up the stairs and is like literally looking around. Is like, where did my dad go?
She's like, where's
no, literally, she's like,
where did Daddy go?
Where did he go?
Come show them your
like,
little.
Has anybody seen my dad?
Has anybody
seen my dad? Where did he go?
Where did he go? What do you have to say to yourself, girl? For yourself. Yeah. What do you have to say about being just past 1 year old? Any kitty cat? She's like, I'm past this shit.
She's like, I'm grown.
Yeah.
I don't. She's like, in cat years, I've been there, done that. I don't know.
Been there. I've been through my 20s.
I've already done it. So it's good. Whatever.
The wise girl.
Yeah. But yeah, she's in a whole new era where it's just so completely different. So that's kind of how I feel like in my 20s as well. Like not having, I mean, everyone's in different positions again. Like I don't need to acknowledge that every 5 seconds. I know that. I'm speaking from my experience. But I'm like, I have nothing tied down to me. Like I have no real responsibility, like things tied to my name. I own my car and that's it. So I'm like, I can just get in that bitch and drive wherever I want. Like that's all I got to my name, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I could pack up and move wherever, or like sell all my stuff and move across the world, or get 7 boyfriends if I want. I don't know. Like,
yeah, you write your own story.
Go live in a trailer and travel through the Canada.
Yeah,
the Canada.
Go backpack across
Go to Alaska.
Canada.
Go climb Mount Everest and like literally die from hypothermia. Is that Mount Everest?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Mount Everest for sure. That's the big one.
That just popped in my head because I literally saw a video of someone recently, and like literally they get hypothermia and they're like on the brink of dying just to say they did it. Like that's crazy.
No, I know.
They have to go past dead bodies.
So many people die climbing that mountain, and it's like, I'm sorry, couldn't be me.
I just love the things where people are like, hey, so you actually don't have to do that.
I know.
The best part about this is that you don't have to do it.
You chose outrightly, like you completely chose.
Yeah, like no one made you do that.
Like that's insane.
That was voluntary.
That was crazy.
But anyways, crazy 20s. You can kind of do whatever. Yeah, it's just very big on growing. There's so much to grow, and the growing doesn't stop after your 20s.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's like I've heard that like people in their 30s are like, this is the best years of your life because you've done all that growing. You've
already done all that
in your 20s, and now you're really, really fully coming into who you are in your 30s. And it's like, these are the best years, because a lot of people say like the 20s are the best years of your life, but now I've been hearing everybody saying like, no, it's actually your 30s, because your 20s are just full of so much shit going on, self-discovery, up and down, which is great. Like if anything,
you need it to.
It's like you kind of want to be all over the place in your 20s, because that just means that you're trying, you're experimenting, you're learning. It's like you shouldn't, I mean, a lot of people do have the answers and they know their path and they have the commitments already. But for a lot of other people, it's a good time to do that and let loose, really just say fuck it and be like, you know what? This is the last few years of, my life where I may or may not have any more commitments. Let's go full throttle. Let's do whatever I want to do. But yeah, that's why like buying a house and that scares me, because I'm like, that is too much of a commitment. Having kids is so scary, because it's like that is a full lifelong commitment. And so it's like, I want to wait as long as I can.
Until you're geriatric.
Exactly. Yep.
But I always wonder too about even like people who haven't done much experimenting or growth, or like people that are very stuck in like who they were in high school. I just am like, I'm waiting, like you're gonna have a crash out one day. Like, you know what I mean? Like you might be 50, or sometimes, maybe this is bad to say, I feel like some people are just like stuck from literally how they were as a teen to literally until they're like 50 years old. And it's like, you're just not gonna change at that point. And then it's like sad. It's like you could have had all this more potential to like unlock different parts to yourself and have different experiences, and you just never went for it. That's why I also am on the side of do all this random shit in your 20s. Like, I don't know, like it's not like, oh, because you say like met your partner when you were 15, you've been together for 14 years, like that doesn't mean like they're not the one for you. But I mean, like in different situations, like there's just a lot of experimenting to be had in life. Yes. But some people don't need to experiment, you know, in certain aspects. I don't mean like, you know, just because you've been with your partner for 20 years forever, they're the only person you know, you never experimented outside of that, doesn't mean you're not going to experiment in other areas in your life. Yeah. I just mean if in all areas you're not experimenting and not trying new things, and you're only the same. Yes. That's where I'm like, I don't think like something's gonna crash down one day.
There's gonna be like a long-term crash out where it's like this is all gonna kind of like subconsciously it's going to build up. You're going to hold resentment towards yourself and towards maybe somebody, and then one day it's going to all come to the surface, and you're going to be like, oh my God, like I've never done anything in my life because I've always just kind of stayed along the same path. I've never tried anything. How do I even know this is what I want?
Yeah. See, it's like in different ways, like I said, like even like career wise, some people just know, and then they're like, boom, that's what they've done their whole life. They're like, perfect. They don't need to experiment. Like that works. But I just think you need to have experiment and different experiences in at least some aspects of your life. Like if, like you said, if you're stagnant, you're the same, or you picked on it when you were 17 in every aspect of your life and it never changed. That's when I'm like, whoa, that's a little crazy.
And sometimes that's why you really got to like check yourself and clock yourself and be like, am I stepping out of my comfort zone? Am I switching things up? Because that's what happened to me, and why Jill and I are wanting to move. It's because we kind of clocked ourselves and we're like, we're in our 20s. Like, what are we doing staying in the same spot for more than 2 years? Like, let's go adventure another place. Let's go try out another city. Let's go put ourselves in an uncomfortable position, because what are we going to do? Just stay here our whole lives and just be stagnant and nothing is going to ever change? Or do we want to adventure, take a risk, take a leap of faith, step outside of the comfort zone? And it's like we had to check ourselves, because we are very, very extremely comfortable right now where we're at. But the beauty in life and where you learn the most lessons and where there will be the most payout is when you do just take those leaps of faith, put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. Step outside the box, do something different. And so it's also important to just like realize and clock yourself, because if we never had that realization, nothing would ever change. So it's like, check yourself and be like, what am I doing this year, or what have I been doing in the past couple years that I've put myself out of my comfort zone, that I've taken a leap of faith, you know, that I've tried something new. Make sure you're constantly doing that, especially, bless you.
Sorry, thank you. Make sure you're constantly doing that, especially in your 20s, because this is the time to do that.
Absolutely, baby.
If you have the ability to. And you know what? Some people's life paths, like you said, it's going to look a lot different. Maybe you had kids already. Maybe you own a house and maybe you're tied down. And then maybe your period of experimentation is going to be in your 50s, you know? So it's like, it can really happen at any point in your life. Everybody's journey is going to look different. But if you do have the opportunity to do it now in your 20s, it's the time.
Yeah. Period. Another topic among, you know, the topic of navigating your 20s is like career and money. That is a big one, definitely, because I know there's a lot of societal pressure to have things figured out, especially career wise. But you don't realize how many people are broke in their 20s, how many people don't have shit figured out. Some people don't even have jobs, or they're just doing little hustle things. And some people are like full on going for their freaking bachelor's or whatever, taking 7 years of school, traveling around the world to get, you know, the knowledge for whatever they're wanting to do. It's just, it's so broad in what you can do for career and money in the time of your life in your 20s, and just this expectations are like really fucking high, like, and especially I feel like from social media these days, because people make it seem, you're just seeing online, people are posting about the things they do. Like if you were to walk around like your town and pick out, you know, 20 people your same age, you'd probably be on the same boat with, I'm gonna say, like, I would say even more than half of them. Like you'd probably be on that same boat. There's gonna be the odd people that stick out. But on social media, it's like you're seeing a lot of these people that stick out.
Yeah, and that's all you're seeing. So you think it's the norm.
You see. So all you see is these people making 6 figures in my 20s, how I can afford this Lamborghini.
Or like $4 million a month on OnlyFans when you're 21.
Yeah. And it's just like things like that raise that bar so high. But a lot of it is from social media. And I mean, yes, now there are a lot more ways and a lot more jobs to be creative and make money that way, which is cool. There's another line of ways to get income. That is cool. Fun.
We're evolving.
Whatever. We are evolving. It's not just you have to be a nurse, a doctor, a firefighter, or a police person or a plumber. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many options of work, and that's where I feel like you can get creative and, like we said, like try literally everything. Be experimental, because again, in your 20s, you may not know exactly what things are going to work for you or what aren't. And even myself, like I've tried a bunch of like different alleys of job, and sometimes you really connect with them, be like, oh, I actually really like this, and I maybe would have thought I wouldn't. And then, you know, new goals or ideas or just even opportunities can stem out of that, which I've experienced myself, which is like cool, because I feel like I've done work that I didn't think I would really be into, but it actually really like sparked something in me, and I'm like, oh, I actually do really like that. I really like brings out that side of me, you know?
Yeah, no, it's so true. Just the fact that when you're in your 20s, you could meet somebody the exact same age as you, and they can be in a completely different career path, financially, in every single way. It's like you can meet somebody that's in their 20s that's $50,000 in debt because they're going to become a doctor getting their master's degree, or you can meet somebody that literally just bought a house and, you know, is financially stable in that way, or you can meet somebody that's just kind of floating in the middle. That's the beauty in it, is that everybody's on their own path and everybody's on their own journey. And like you're saying about social media, it's like all we're seeing is these people that are basically influencers, because that's what social media is.
Yeah.
And so that's basically all we're seeing is people making lots of money and, you know, living in their dream apartment so young. But like you said, that is not normal, guys. Like, it is really not normal. And that's why it's so important to have those boundaries with social media and not to compare yourself, because in the real world, if you were just to go meet some people in their 20s, I will tell you right now, that's not going to be the case. You think you're going to show up and all of these people are making $1 million? No. No. That's just what you see on social media. And so those expectations are really high, and you probably have that. Maybe some people have that weight on themselves. The funny thing about life is that you could be broke, and then the next year you could be absolutely at your most financially abundant. Things can change and happen so fast.
So quick.
And so if you're like in a bad place right now in your 20s and you're struggling financially, that is like actually a good thing, because just know that like things are going to be turning around eventually, and now you're experiencing this reality, but that is completely okay, because it is part of your journey, and it is part of just like maybe being able to get over some money problems in your head, where you just have to stop, you know, holding those boundaries of caring about it so much. Like, everything that happens in your life is going to teach you a lesson. So just make sure that whatever position you're in, you know, you're learning from it. And like I said, so many things can change just within 1 year. So imagine where you could be in 5 years. And it's like even the opposite way. If you're jealous of somebody who's very, very financially abundant, a lot can change within a year for them as well. So it's like a lot can change in either direction for anybody. That's why you just have to take it day by day. And it's funny because it's such a diverse group of people, just being in your 20s, of what kind of life path they're on, where they are in that path. And you can meet somebody the exact same age as you. Let's say you're both 25 and you're just at the polar ends of the spectrum. One person could be figuring shit out, has no idea, and the other person can quote unquote have it all figured out. And that is perfectly fine. That's the beauty in life, and having our own journey. And one of the things is it's very like these days it's very education based and like school based. Like, I feel like a lot of people think judgment for not going to school, that school coincides with success. And the amount of people I know that are hello, I can't speak. Successful that did not go to schooling or have any schooling specifically in the career that they're in is crazy. And yeah, for me, I always think just because you're not successful now or not exactly where you want to be now or at your financial goal now, it doesn't mean you never will. Because also the amount of people that got rich and famous or like created this crazy thing, or like in their 40s or 50s, like friggin' Oprah, friggin' Kris Jenner, like those are extreme, you know, examples. Jeff Bezos, who is literally one of the world's richest people, he said that he had like so many failing businesses before that. He was in debt. Look, he's literally one of the richest people in the world now.
Amazon, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Do you realize that he had to actually go like probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt before he even had one successful business? And that just goes to show, it's like you can be at one place in your life and then things can totally take a turn. Yeah. And it's crazy. So don't be so hard on yourself.
Again, money comes and goes. It's, you know, it ebbs and flows. It comes and goes.
It's not even real too, guys. Just literally money is probably one of the stupidest things because it's not even real yet. Everybody runs their lives based on money. Money, this, money, that. I'm sorry, but spiritually, energetically, don't let it hold that value, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the school thing too is it's like, I feel like even when I'm talking to people or like meet someone, they're like, oh yeah, I'm in school for this, blah, blah, blah. When people are like, oh, if you go to school, and I'm like, no. I used to like feel bad but saying that, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm actually like, in my head, I'm so too bad, but I'm like, that sucks for you that you went to school or you're in school. Like, that sucks. Yeah. Like, in my head now, obviously I don't actually think that. Like, I want people to, you know, do what they want to do and create this success however they want to do that. But when I imagine myself in school right now, I'm like, I would actually hate my life. Like, I hated school. I never wanted to go back. You know, if there was something, I've said this before, if I had a passion for it and I needed to go to school, I needed to get some more education on it, cool, I'd be happy to do so.
In the meantime,
I don't. So like, I wouldn't just be going to school just because society says to be successful you have to go to school. I would actually hate my life, and that's just not something I want to do. I'd rather, you know, spend the time, you know, because now I have more time not being in school and not focusing on studying and passing and doing all this stuff, is to figure out who I am and what kind of jobs I want to do, or focus on how I'm going to make money right now, or, you know, where I'm going to travel to right now, or like relationships and friends and stuff. Like, I have more effort and time to focus on other things. So I just look at it that way. Like, okay, you have your focuses on this right now. Well, my focus is on something totally different right now.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't want to be focused on that right now because there's nothing that interests me to want to be focused on in that area right now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. I mean, when it comes to schooling, I remember like I was having so much pressure to go to school. So I did right out of high school. I went to 1 year of was it 1 year? Sorry. I think it was one semester. Sorry. I lasted one semester.
She's being optimistic. She's like, oh yeah, whole year.
Yeah, whole year. No, just kidding.
Like, no, I didn't even last that long.
I lasted one semester until I had a crash out, and I'm like,
I'm dropping out.
This is not for me. Yeah. Which is so hilarious because obviously, like, my parents always thought that, you know, in order to be successful, you got to go to school. So they've always just like said, you guys are getting a degree. It's a non-negotiable. So that's why I ended up going. But then I ended up convincing them. And like now they hold a completely different belief system around it, which is great. Yeah. But, you know, it took me having to break those boundaries and step out of the norm in order for them to see the bigger perspective of things. And quitting school is the best thing I've ever done. But it's funny because in that moment, almost everybody that I told I was going to do, I thought it was the stupidest decision of my life. Yeah. Which is hilarious because
like, look at me now. Eh?
Yeah. But like literally you do not need to do A, B, or C to be successful. You can do absolutely anything to be successful. Like there's no one path, there's no one right answer. And like it depends the type of person you are, and if you like to go to school, if you need schooling to do what you want to do, obviously that's amazing. But for the people that don't resonate with school and that don't want to go to school, I'm sorry, but it's a flat out waste of time if you're going and you don't want to be going and you don't even know what you're going to be doing with it. Waste of time and money, to be honest. So
I would agree.
Yeah, it's like there's so much pressure where honestly in high school there was never an option. When I got asked like by my teachers and just people, there was never an option of, oh, are you going to school? It was, oh, what school are you going to, or what are you doing in school? And I feel like now as a society we're slowly evolving into, you know, breaking out of that and realizing that people can still be very, very intelligent and successful without having a background in schooling. So it's going to be really interesting how this kind of plays out in the next few years, especially with the rise of AI. And, you know, people could really just bypass school by using AI, and basically nothing is going to actually be done from them. So how do you create boundaries around that? So it's going to be very, very interesting in the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years, where schooling is going to go with all of this and what's going to happen. Like, who knows? In 10 years, because of AI, schooling can just be completely irrelevant. Who knows? I mean, obviously, it's different when it comes to doctors and stuff like that. But I just mean, like, if you get a random degree, it could be irrelevant if AI is a thing. Like, right now, I feel like it holds a lot of value. And a few years ago, it held even more value. But I feel like it's kind of slowly depreciating. And people are coming to see that it's like, you could do a lot more things and be successful than go to school. So yeah, it's not a one and done stop. It's not a one and done path. And schooling, at the end of the day, it's so expensive. Like, not everybody has even the opportunity to go.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but don't feel guilty, you know, if you're not in school, if you don't know what you're going to do, if you're jobless, whatever the case is, there's a reason why everything is happening. And all I could tell you is learn from, you know, the lessons you're learning. Make sure you're taking things out from that and just keep pushing forward, because as long as you keep pushing forward and as long as you keep striving to fulfill your highest desire, then that's all that matters and you're on the right path.
Absolutely. Ate that up. Oh yeah, relationships I can't speak. And social life.
Yeah, it's kind of very similar to the whole, you know, money financial situation and meeting a bunch of different people in your 20s, like relationships, friendships. You can meet somebody that has all their friends from high school, has 15, 20 friends, and you can meet somebody that, you know, has lost all their friends along their journey. You can meet somebody that has been in a committed relationship for 10 years. You can meet somebody that's been single for 10 years. Mm-hmm. It's like the same thing where it's like in your 20s, opposites, like you're never gonna kind of be in the same boat as somebody, because everybody's gonna have a different path. And yeah, I mean, my personal path was, you know, I met Joel at literally 17 years old, which is so crazy. Okay. And keep in mind, back then I had no idea we had no idea what we were doing. I had no idea I'd be with Joel for this long, that he's going to be my lifelong partner. I was 17. So it's just funny thinking back to that, because I feel like when you get into a relationship that young, really depends, but it's either like you grow together or you grow apart. I know a lot of people would have maybe the thoughts and they're like, oh, but you never got a chance to explore being single in your 20s. But that's just not my path. And I didn't need to do that for my path, right? I'm exploring in other areas, which is bound and needed to happen. And we're exploring things as a couple. Like, it looks different than if you're single. So I get it both ways. Like, some people need to be single in their 20s to explore things about themselves. It's all meant to be at the end of the day, but it's just interesting because, like I said, it kind of is similar to finances, where you're going to meet a bunch of different people in their 20s.
Yeah, and I think like some people kind of force, like on the like romantic relationships front, like I think a lot of people force things that aren't meant to be in their 20s, because again, it's such like a crazy time and you're like learning new things, you're feeling new ways, your frontal lobe is developing, so you don't really understand things and understand how to deal with situations, understand, you know, like actions of other people and why people do things. It's a big one for sure, because obviously like relationships are gonna affect you an insane amount, if it's a toxic relationship or if it's super healthy. Either way, relationships have a big effect on you and the people that you surround yourself with in your environment, especially if it is a romantic partner as well. So like for me, and obviously my case, like I've been single for majority of my 20s, and like I really like it that way because it gives me so much more. When I've been in relationships, like 90% of my attention goes to that person and not to myself, which is like has been really frustrating for me in the past. So for me, I just get like 100% of attention on myself, from myself at all times. But I think like I've done a lot of growing and, you know, a lot of learning about myself and like what I need and out of a relationship and just out of my life in general, that I feel like I'm at a point where, you know, I wouldn't need to do as much experimenting. Like I feel like I could really just like meet someone basically, and kind of like know like what I want. Obviously, like that doesn't always just happen, but I don't need to hop in the dating pool and see what's going on and try out and see what I want, because I'm like, I already know. I don't really need to do that. So for me, I'm kind of just like not playing the waiting game, but playing the like it'll happen when it happens game. Like I'm not interested in experimenting with people at this point in time, because I feel like I've done that in the past, and since I know myself so well, like I feel like some people try to figure out themselves through other people, and that it's just not gonna work. Like it will in ways, but like to deeply like truly learn about yourself, like being with a partner, and I mean this more so in a toxic way, it's only gonna bring out like bad sides of you, and you're not gonna be able to actually learn your true self in a positive and like even a negative way. Like yeah, I don't know, like, and I mean in healthy relationships, obviously like you can be able to bring out all sides of you and have that person like help you through it and like help you understand that, and like you both are doing it for each other. But when it's in the sense that it's like toxic, like yeah, it's just not good for your development. Like it is good for your development, you know what I mean, but also in a sense it's not. Like I think if you're dragging something that's not good, that's just mentally not good for you for the whole entirety of your 20s, like that feels like a waste to me.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, and I firsthand see friends put themselves on these dating apps, which is fine, but then it's like they're so consumed by these guys that are, they're not meant to actually be.
Yeah.
And then they're just kind of wasting their time when it's like it's just a cycle that keeps repeating, and it's like almost a cycle that they're not aware of that's happening. It just keeps happening over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I mean, that's their journey. They got to learn for themselves at the end of the day. But I've seen that firsthand where it's like you're wasting the prime years of your 20s when you should be getting to know yourself, distracting yourself with boys.
Yeah.
That could be also like a signal that you have like past trauma that you need to work through because you're seeking some attention and validation for what, right? And yeah, I've seen it become toxic and just not good when in reality, if you were to just take a few steps back and realize that, some self-work needs to be done and you need to be alone for a bit just to figure things out. I feel like that would do amazing things rather than just like putting yourself in the same cycle over and over again. I've seen it firsthand.
Mm-hmm. And like when you grow out of these relationships, like I would not stand for a lot of things that I like let people do to me in the past. You know what I mean? Like it's like the person that's why like you have to do you do have to go through bad things to also come out of it the other side and learn some things about yourself in those situations. But I think if you just like never learn and you continue that cycle, you're not stepping out to be able to understand like what things are actually right and wrong. And like it can just be very damaging like for life. If you just stay in that cycle for so long and don't ever get out of it, it's going to be like, I don't know, it's like a freaking drug at that point. Like you're just like addicted to it. And if you're in the place where you're just in toxicity with partners and trying to find new ones and you always are like, I'm a relationship person, I want to be in a relationship, you're always just trying to find a new relationship, those people drive me fucking insane, to be honest. No offense, but I understand that there's some sort of like internal need that you need to have a partner, whether that's for validation, whether that's for comfort, for like safety, whatever, how you look at it. To me, I'm like, no. Like, you should start looking inwards.
You gotta take a step back.
Look inwards, babe. Stop looking outside for these nasty men. Like, look inside and do some work first. And then, because again, we've said this a million times, but you attract like what you are, right? So if you're someone who's unhealed and, has a lot still going that they need to go through that's not very good and things they need to work on, you're going to attract people of that same category.
Yeah, people meet you where you're at.
They do. So that's another thing for me as well, is why I feel like I've wanted to do so much work, because I'm like, I don't want to attract or like have to fix people. Like I want to be with someone who is on the same level of, has already done their self-work, has more things figured out, is still, learning themselves, but like wants to, and like wants to better themselves. Like I'm like, I need someone who's in the same boat in that sense of like self-development and growth. So that's why I'm out of that pool.
But it's like, yeah, wouldn't you rather be in that position than just like throwing yourself at guys that like don't even meet those standards and then just wasting time,
and they make you feel like shit about yourselves, like because it like messes you up real good.
It takes away from you, because you've done so much work on yourself that it's like they don't even deserve that attention, so
no, they don't. We're referring to obviously like,
yes,
guys in this situation, because that's all we know. But in the department of mental health, that kind of goes with like self-growth and like what we were talking about earlier. But yeah, you're gonna learn about some shit about your brain in your 20s. Like if you got demons in there, they're coming out, they're
coming out to play.
Whatever is in that brain of yours, it's coming out in your 20s, because like we said, there's so many different situations, people you're going to deal with, things that life is going to throw at you, horrible things that might happen to you, amazing things that might happen to you, responsibilities, friggin' insane life changes that you were not prepared for. Like so many things are going to come at you in your 20s to see how you deal with it. And yeah, it might scramble that brain of yours. It might really bring out some bad things. It might bring out some good things. It's a time to really focus on your mental health and like be aware of your mental, so that way you can be able to take care of it and know how to deal with that for the rest of your life. So if you do struggle with something intense like mental health illness, if you can at least understand how it works and how your brain works, and you know how to, go about things in how your specific brain works and reacts to things, it's just going to set you up for success for the rest of your life. And people who ignore their mental health and do things that is not good for their specific brain. It's just real self-sabotage. But sometimes it's hard because it's not necessarily an easy thing to do in every situation. So that's why I think like in your 20s, you really got to step into like just making sure that you're okay. That's another thing that like ties in with the relationship thing. Like your mental health is coming out in those situations in relationships. So like you really want to be able to, you know, be better aligned with what you need and your brain needs.
Yeah, no, exactly. And a thing with your 20s is I feel like this is when a lot of childhood trauma is going to come to the surface.
It will.
And whether, you know, you've had a great childhood, whether you've had a really hard upbringing, no matter how you grew up, guys, there is going to be a layer of childhood trauma there that your parents did or your parent did without even knowing it. It's like not intentional, but it's something, there's always going to be something that comes up.
Because that shit is suppressed. 20s. Like there's some things you don't even realize, but then like you kind of react to a situation or like something randomly will trigger it and you're like, whoa, like I didn't even realize. Where did that come from? Like it might take literally therapy to figure out like that's
the
where
root
it's
of
from.
The problem.
The root of it.
And that's the thing. That's what's really also important about being in your 20s is getting the root to the problems. You know, if you're reacting in a certain way, if you have anger issues or whatever the case may be, there's always a root cause to that. Whether you know it or not, it's there. So it's like unlocking that in therapy or whatever the case may be. It's so important to get to that root of the problem so you could fix it and move on and become a better person. Yeah. And so, yeah, I just feel like, especially in your 20s is when you should be dealing with those types of things. Just being aware of your behaviors and clocking yourself and just willing to work on yourself no matter what kind of stage in your life you're in. Otherwise, I feel like as long as you're doing that, you'll be good to go, you know?
Yeah, and also acknowledging that everybody else is going through their own mental ride and figuring out that for themselves. So being able to like give grace to people, also still holding people accountable for things. Because again, we're all struggling at some point with what's going on in our head, whether that's even, you know, you don't struggle that hard, but it's just maybe some stress or whatever. It's just getting to you. And it could be the opposite end where it's very intense. But knowing that everyone has their own things that they're got going on in their own head, and that, you know, some people don't have the luxury to be able to, you know, explore that and figure out what's really going on, or maybe they don't want to or they don't care to. But if you have the opportunity and you're able to and you want to, I would highly recommend just trying to figure yourself out, therapy, whatever that is, even just talking to friends, talking about things. Something plays in your head all the time, something bothers you, like why does this bother me? Even like just taking a minute to think about why something made you feel the way it did, you know?
Yeah, and like you said about having compassion for people, a lot of the times if somebody freaks out on you, if a family member freaks out on you, a friend or whatever, a lot of the times it's not you. It's not what you did. It's actually just a deeper rooted problem that they're dealing with, but you have no idea about. Yeah. That's why having compassion throughout, you know, we're all navigating these 20s together. So having compassion for other people going, you know, along the same journey as you are, even your parents, like just life in general at this point, it's important to be there for them and just to realize that a lot of the things are going to come to the surface, especially in these years of our lives, that are going to be deeper rooted. In the moment, it can feel like, you know, this argument is happening because of one thing, but it's actually because of a deeper rooted issue that you have no idea about, and it's just coming to the surface in different ways. And that's why it's so important to nip it in the butt, because otherwise it's going to start growing into many, many different things that it's like, oh my God, the one cause of all of this shit happening is because of that one problem that happened to me like 20 years ago, you know? Yeah, just have compassion for people. If you meet somebody that's in a super bad mood, it's just give them some grace and be like, we're all going through this life. Yeah. And
try not to take it personal.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, you have no idea what anybody is going through, because a lot of people choose to hide what they're going through.
Yes. Very true.
And so just be compassionate is one thing I've really learned, and just be kind.
Yeah.
And
we've all got our own shit.
And just know it's never really what it seems.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a bit deeper.
It's not that deep, but it can also be that deep.
Exactly.
You know? Okay, now let's end it off with doing the biggest surprises of our 20s. So like anything that comes to our mind that have surprised us about being in our 20s, or like things that come up in your 20s that are like, well, didn't expect that.
I say the first thing that I just thought of off the top of my head, you kind of mentioned this earlier, but I thought that being in my 20s, I would feel like I was a real adult. I still feel like a 17-year-old in some ways, where I'm like, oh my goodness, like you think that I have lived on my own for a while, I would, you know, have some more knowledge on bills and stuff. But sometimes it's just like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just learning this. You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes I don't feel like an adult, like a grown adult, but technically I am. But it's like, I thought at this age I would feel so old, and but no, girl, like I'm literally feeling so young. I'm a child. And I'm like 25-year-old child in a way, and everybody is kind of you know, in their 20s. It's like you're almost, what's it called, you're almost in like the toddler stage. You know what I mean? And like in the grand scheme of life, which is funny because a lot of the societal expectations are that when you're in your 20s, you know, gotta have your life together, gotta be mature, you're an adult. But it's like, in reality, it's like
my life just started.
We're all kind of toddlers.
Yeah, so it's like my life literally just started.
I'm honestly, at 20, your life really starts.
Yeah, pretty much. One for me is I don't think I actually expected how many people would be popping out babies in our 20s. Like, the amount of people all of a sudden I see expecting, like, congrats, new baby. I'm like, what? Like,
I agree.
The stage that I'm at, I'm like, holy shit. Like, being pregnant right now, like, no, thank you. Like, everyone just be pregnant. Like, oh my God, everyone's having kids. Like, and I feel like you don't actually expect that because I'm like, hey, babe, we're the same age. Or you're even younger than me and you're having a kid. Like, that's crazy.
It's so crazy. And I'm like, do they feel like an adult in their head?
Yeah, like, what's going on in your head? Because in mine, I would not be doing that.
Yeah, no,
I'm not ready for that.
That's so,
it's crazy.
True.
In another way, in more of like a morbid way, is like people be dying. Yeah. At the same time, as much as people are being born, people are ending their life at the same time, which is really sad and messed up. But yeah, people in their 20s, again, it's a time to experiment and whatever. And again, plays into like mental health and all that stuff. And a lot of people, it's really tough times in the ages for them, and some people don't make it out, unfortunately. And that's like a harsh reality that you get to that age and you're like, oh shit. Right? But yeah, that's another, obviously on a more intense topic, but that is another thing that's just kind of crazy. But another thing, the amount of freaking damn bills, like,
God damn.
No, literally, why are there bills for literally everything?
I'm like, you breathe and you spend money.
Yeah. Another one, leave the house, $100 minimum.
Oh, minimum charge.
Minimum $100 I've spent. What did I even buy? Don't even know.
It's like I literally go to the store, buy 2 bananas. I'm like $1,000. I'm like,
I'm in debt. Like how did that happen?
Like, what in the world?
Yeah. No, it happens so quick. Like, I always say the second I leave my house, almost every day I spend $100 somehow. I don't know. And if I get gas, that's already guaranteed $100. So now I'm spending $200. Like, I don't even know how I did that. And so I'm like, I swear I didn't even do anything today. Like, if I spent under like $50 in a day, I'm like, holy shit.
It's literally. Like, you want to go out and do anything fun? Yeah, $100.
$1 million.
Minimum, million, trillion.
It's quite crazy.
Yeah.
But also in your 20s, I don't know. Like, because I feel like when I was younger, you know, I always thought like, oh, I'd be like 25, married, kids, blah, blah, blah. You really can actually just do whatever the hell you want. At this age, I can like legally do whatever I want.
You want. In like any country.
Yeah.
Because 25.
Well, for us, 25. Yeah. Pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
We can now rent cars in the States. That's so big.
There's no age minimum, like literally anymore. We're 20, almost 25. No age minimum.
I can literally do what I want.
Yeah.
Obviously, besides things that are illegal, like that you can't do. But you know what I mean?
I can literally go rob a bank.
Like, I could rob a bank. I could do freaking drugs on the street. I don't know. But, you know what I mean? You could just like literally do anything. It's like I could actually just pack up, sell my stuff, and move to friggin' Alaska, like if I wanted. And no one can stop me because
you're old enough.
I'm an adult and I can do that if I want. It's just crazy. So many crazy things.
Yeah, no, it's funny. We're like toddler adults. It's so crazy. It's honestly so crazy. And I feel like it's the most transitional years of your life.
And also how motherfucking fast time flies by is scary. Because it's like in the moment, the time doesn't feel like it's flying by until the moment's gone. So I feel like that's something that I really try to focus on is like when I'm in a moment having fun or like, wow, I'm not going to feel this moment again or this moment's going to end and all of a sudden it's going to be over. It's like to really try and be in the moment while you're there because that's just going to fly by so fast.
Yeah. And I feel like especially in these years of my life, I've found that the time has just like times 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Times 2.
2.5 even.
It's going in Godspeed. It's going crazy. And so, yeah, you really have to appreciate it. And what's funny is every single birthday I've had, okay, almost every single birthday before I realized this, I turned 21. Oh my God. I don't want to turn 21. I'm getting so old.
Say that every year.
I even did that when I was like turning 19.
You're like, bitch, I'm gonna be saying that when I'm 30. Like,
but it's funny because it's like, really, every year that you're turning now, be grateful. Like, you're still so young. Be grateful for it, because I'm just laughing at myself turning 19 and being like, I'm getting so old.
Oh my God, we gotta start being like, I'm so young.
Yeah. Like, change the mindset around it.
Because I know 25, I'm so young.
I know a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
I would say 99% of people in their 20s, every single time they turn a year older, they shed a little tear.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, once you're out of your 20s, they're gone. But like, same with every generation. Your freaking 10s, they're gone. You're no longer a child anymore.
And like your teens, that's how it is. And then your 20s, and then your 30s, and then your 40s. It's insane.
Even your 50s.
But that's why you have to be so present in every single moment.
Lock in
And just realize, like, I'm so grateful to be where I'm at now in my life, period. Okay? Period. Be grateful for every single thing that you have to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
That is so important. If I've learned one thing, it's that.
Gratitude at all times.
Yes. Gratitude is the new attitude.
I love it.
Period.
I feel like that was a great way to end off the episode.
Yeah, I think it was.
It always comes back to, okay, guys, we have to be grateful.
Yes. Honestly, everything stems down to that, I swear.
Well, tonight's going to be a juicy Love Island episode.
Oh,
so I'm so excited for that. I was just thinking about how I'm going to my dad's. I'm like, shit, like, I got to hurry up and go home. Like, I'm like, Dad, hurry up. We need to get food and we need to eat food quick. I have things to do.
Yeah, you got to scurry on over there. So I got to
scurry on over.
Scurry on over.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week as per usual. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Any idea, topic, whatever request, we're always watching. We always see whatever y'all say. So
yeah, we appreciate everything as always, of course.
I feel like I've seen so many comments recently just being like, oh my God, I just love I just love your podcast. Like, I get so excited when you post. Like, it's like you're right for. Like, I've been seeing a lot like that right now, and it feels really nice. It's
so rewarding.
Because sometimes I'll be like, do people even give a fuck? Like, do you ever think that?
Like, all the time.
I'm like, we get together every week and talk and like post it, and I'm like, does anyone actually even give a shit?
If you guys give a shit and you're listening to this right now, can you comment that? To just validate us.
Because sometimes I see that, so it like makes me so excited. I'm like, oh, people actually do give a shit. Yeah, like people actually tune in and watch this, and they give a shit, and they like value and like listen to what we say. So like that means a lot.
And then like it's also funny because there's so many, like 99% of our viewers are just silent listeners, where like
they're just numbers.
We
just see numbers.
They give a shit, but they're not ones to go comment that they give a shit, which I totally understand.
Totally, because I do that too. Like, I'm kind of a silent listener on most things.
I'm always a silent listener and a silent viewer. So if you guys give a shit though, it's your time to speak up.
Let us know. Hey guys, I give a shit about you.
Yeah. Let us know you care for us, okay? Because we care for you.
It's actually
say here for you.
It's such like a weird concept, because I will literally think, I'm like, does anyone actually give a shit that we post podcasts?
I totally.
It's like I'll see numbers, but it's like, okay, but did anyone actually listen and care?
It's like, did anybody actually stay till the end?
Right?
I think that all the time. And
so
I was just thinking
we love you.
Yeah, we love you guys.
You're the best.
So much. Like, genuinely so much, and we appreciate all your support.
1,000,000%.
Million times over.
Bottom of our hearts.
Yes. We love you.
And in that sense, we will be back next week for you, the people who did give a shit.
Yes. For the people that care, truly.
We'll be back. Okay, love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.